Max Verstappen has won the race in Abu Dhabi or the final race in Abu Dhabi, but he has lost the Drivers' Championship. And I think this is a case of being too close, yet again too far. And having lost the championship to Lando Norris by just 2 points, it is going to be interesting to probably look back and see where he could have lost those points. And I know there are quite a number of permutations that you can do, and a lot of, justification as to why it has ended the same way. But I'm sure he is also going to look back and probably, even without regretting about the season, realize that probably there are areas or races where he could have scored more points, but he ended up losing the points. You might even argue that this has been one of his greatest comebacks in recent seasons. Because if you remember, towards the end of August, he was 104 points behind the championship leader, who at the time was Oscar Piastri. And we are going to discuss about Oscar a little bit later. But to be able to fight back to a point where he had actually a chance to win the Drivers' Championship and now just losing it by 2 points cannot be wished away is something that should be celebrated. And I hope he does celebrate that particular campaign and how he has been good all along, especially the half season or the second half of the season. And losing while still winning the race demonstrates that he's still one of the best drivers that we have on the grid. What this means is that the fight or the campaign towards winning his fifth world title continues, and it will move into 2026 where there is a huge regulation change, and while nobody knows how things will be in the grid or on the grid, or how teams will actually be able to interpret the regulations and what they have actually been able to build, it's the hope that Red Bull has built a car or are building a car that will be there or thereabouts when it comes to fighting for race wins as well as the championship in 2026. And as we have seen, not only in 2025 but also in the last couple of seasons, if you give Max Verstappen a good car or a car that can be able to fight for wins, he's one of the drivers that you can be assured that he will get, or he'll try to get the maximum that he can get from that particular car and will drag it towards actually winning a race. And it's not far-fetched to think that he can also win a title in 2026. Like Max Verstappen actually said in the post-race interviews, they have to be satisfied, or he was satisfied with the work that he has done and the work the team had done to actually remain in the fight for the title. And you can be sure they do everything towards ensuring that Max had whatever it takes, or the kind of car that actually could help him win the title. And yes, it sucks that he lost by 2 points. And like he said, the first half was where probably they lost everything, because the car was up and down, their results were up and down, they did not do a good job. But the second half, they have been on it. They have actually stood on the money. They have delivered results worthy of winning a title. Sadly, it was not enough for them, and they have to be satisfied with the result that they have gotten of being second in the World Drivers' Championship. The end of the season, of course, means that it is also the end of the road for this kind of, or the car that these drivers have been driving. And when asked about it also, Max Verstappen was actually saying he looks forward to the fact that this generation of Formula One cars has come to an end. And in fact, he joked that towards that he was thinking about it, and he even spent a little bit faster to actually get to the line quicker. So it's interesting that we have ended 2025 on a good note, or Red Bull has ended 2025 on a good note. But I don't know whether there are any lessons that they are going to pick as they move into 2026, and the fact that there are new cars, new regulations, and now Red Bull is also, having its own engines. It's actually becoming a manufacturer. So it'll be interesting to see what Red Bull develops, the kind of car that they come up with in 2026, and whether it will be in a position to fight for race wins, and whether that car will give Max Verstappen another opportunity to actually fight for his 5th World Drivers' title. Now, if you look at the season that has been, or the 2025 season, there are quite a number of life lessons as well as business lessons that you can pick from Max Verstappen and how he has been able to perform in 2025 or during the course of the 2025 season. And these are some of the things that I personally like or I enjoy when it comes to Formula One, that beyond the thrill of racing, beyond just, the idea that drivers are competing and teams are competing, there are also quite a number of life lessons and business lessons that you can pick from observing what drivers are doing and also what teams are doing. And if you like, that kind of ideas, or if you like the intersection of sports or Formula One racing and entrepreneurship, including your own personal development, then I would want you to continue being a part of this community and probably subscribe to this YouTube channel, because those are some of the things that I will be discussing or that I discuss on this YouTube channel, where I not only share stories about sports and some of the things that I enjoy, but as well as things, principles, ideas, strategies that you can apply in your personal life as well as in your business life. And if you have enjoyed this particular video, I want you to watch the video on your screen right now. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not, and I'm going to see you in my future videos.